fix my... All right. Okay. Oh, well, you know what? I actually will have to do it this way. Okay, cool. It's fine. Ooh, you know, I really should fix my sign being so low, but it's okay. What is up, you guys? Yes, I have on some gym shorts. I don't care. It's me, Sherelle, here with LoveLee Hustles, and I just wanted to get on here and get live for just a little bit Sunday night and just talk to you guys about child actors, just give you some game on what it is, what it's about, and I'm gonna have my son actually come on here and talk to you guys all about it. So his name is Trey Thomas. He actually has a YouTube channel that's not really active, but he has a YouTube channel. It's called Trey Vision. And we kind of started, well, we didn't start there, but we started to do that a little bit too, just to entertain us some. But yeah, I'm gonna actually just ask Trey some questions, and then as you guys join on, then you can ask him some questions about being a child actor, experiences, pros, cons, all that good stuff. So make sure that you're active in the chat so that he can answer any question that you have. Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
You have a big big piece of lettuce on you too, right there. Yeah. I think it's some cilantro. Okay, cool. Okay. Come on, have a seat. Doesn't look like anybody's watching at the moment, but that's okay.
I'm a little too short for this.
It's no. It's okay because they can see the sign too. So that's cool. All right, so.
Can I have like a toothpick? Like,
why? You're fine, I promise. You're fine. You're fine.
Right. Okay.
All right, so introduce yourself, who you are.
Okay, so hi, my name is Trey Thomas. I'm 12 years old, and as you can tell, I am a child actor. And I've did multiple films and things of that nature. And I'm gonna be showing you everything about being a child actor. And if you have a kid or if you are a kid on here, you can get the tips and tricks right here.
All right, so what is one of the most important things you'd say that I personally taught you when it comes to being a child actor? And it's from any perspective. You can answer it however you want to answer it.
Just respect.
Respect. Okay.
Yes, respect. And also always saying thank you for the opportunity after you get done.
Right. Whether you get it or not, though, right?
Yeah, after you get it or not, yep.
Yeah. You know, Trey's gotten a lot of opportunities off of just having a great positive attitude, having a great demeanor, not being that child running around like crazy. People have, given him opportunities just from that alone. He actually auditioned. Or what was he doing? He was auditioning for a short film that he ended up getting. And one of the guys that was in on the audition pulled me to the side and was like, hey, your son was great. He did an awesome job. He just gave me really good feedback on Trey. And I was like, thank you. About a month or two later, he's like, yeah, so I write short films and I want Trey to be a lawyer in my short film. I think he'll be awesome. And it was really a funny play on him being a child in an adult role as a lawyer, right? So he had like the oversized jacket on and all that kind of stuff. So it was really fun. But you never know the opportunities that are around you when you're in the right places and spaces. So it is important to always be respectful.
For sure.
Let's see. What are some tips you can give for kids that are on set? What is something that you'd want to tell kids to make sure they know about or do or prepare for when being on set?
Just always be laid back. Don't be that kid that just runs around crazy, does the extra, being greedy, the food.
Oh, like you did?
Me.
Yeah.
Sometimes me, because sometimes I just be hungry sometimes. And just be chill, laid back. When they need you, come to that spot, exactly, do your job, leave.
All right.
Be professional.
So do you remember the first thing that you bought when you got your first check, like your first big check from acting?
First thing I bought?
Yes, I remember. Do you remember?
I'm thinking. I don't remember that.
We went half on it with you. You wanted it so bad.
Oh, trampoline.
Yes.
It's a trampoline.
He bought a whole trampoline as his first big thing that he bought whenever he got paid.
Me and my little sister played on that like every single day. Yep.
What is a tip you want to give to people about child acting, like about scripts or about characters, and what is something you'd want to share with somebody when it comes to the acting side of it?
So the thing that people always want to know about is just memorization of the lines. Memorization. So I have two ways. One way is a theater trick that my theater teacher taught me because I'm gonna play, and he taught me like if you have some lines, like each word, each word, like the first letter, that's what you put for the monologue. So like it's the monologue, or they would say, and then like the first letter of each and every word in the space and commas and all of that and things of that nature.
So you're memorizing the beginning of each of the words, not the whole word.
No, you still memorize it, but like you say, like let's say you say my plant is very big, so you'll put
MPIVB.
IVB, yeah.
Okay.
So you would put my plant is very big. So that's how you would memorize it from my theater trick. And like my trick is just keep saying it and saying it and over and over. Repetition.
Yeah. I think a lot of parents don't realize that when their kids become actors at such a young age, it's important for them to know how to read. It's important for them to know how to understand, because if they don't understand what they're reading, then the parents have to step in and say, okay, so this is what's happening. This is what's really going on. This is how you need to look. This is how you need to sound. This is what's the situation. So it is important that the parents are very involved with the kids. But for me to teach Trey how to start memorizing on his own, I would have him memorize on his own first. Then I would go back and forth with him with the lines. Then that's, to me, how we would break down where he needed more practice or needed to memorize more words. So what are some fun things about acting? What are some what are some of the good things you like about being a child actor?
So for sure the money, but I don't do it for the money. I do it for just what I love. It's something that I love to do.
This is the camera.
Oh,
they're looking at you. There's two people watching you right now.
What was the question again?
What are some good things that you like about acting?
About
being a child actor.
The good things about acting is really just my bad. The good things. My mom is so.
All right, my bad. All right, go.
Okay, so the good things about acting is just the experience. Like the more experience that you really get, it's just the better jobs that you get. Like if you audition, like if it's your first audition, you're not gonna be the best, but you're not gonna be the worst, depending on what your preparation has been. My preparation for my first audition.
Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you.
Okay. Oh yeah, thank you. It was pretty good. My preparation was pretty good, but just always, that's the good thing about. Yeah, that's the good
about
thing.
child acting.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think what was your favorite? What are your top two favorite short films or feature films you've been a part of? What were your favorite ones? Do you remember?
I actually have a couple of them.
Okay.
So I like Allergies. It's on Amazon. It's on Amazon Prime. I don't know if it's still on there because it was a couple years ago.
Yeah, Allergies is a short film that is on Prime Video right now, Amazon Prime Video. And I looked it up last night. No lie, I put this on Jesus Christ, and it's there, but you can't watch it. Like the video was unavailable to watch. So sad face, but it's still there. He's on the cover of the movie, so you can at least see that.
Yep.
And then what else?
And then I liked the Academy one for sure.
The Academy
really cool. What? The Academy short film that we did, like
commercial. You mean?
I mean the
woo.
The commercial, the Academy commercial. I had to be in a pool for a split second.
Yeah.
And I had to be there for hours.
But it was a warm pool, despite how cold it was.
No, it looked like it was warm, but it was still cold.
It was still cold.
Yes, it was still cold.
The sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrifice. But and I also like Nickelodeon too.
Yes, he's on Nickelodeon right now. Actually,
it's a campaign.
He has a commercial campaign running on Nickelodeon. They're trying to change a little bit of how things are going on there. They're trying to be more diverse, a little more inclusive. So you'll see a lot of different types of kids of all colors, shapes, sizes, ethnicities, and they're all on the Nickelodeon commercial. And Trey's on there too. Is there anything else you want to share before you get ready for bed because it's late?
Oh, Okay. Aw.
Oh.
Yeah, I think that's everything.
What is the most encouraging thing you can tell another kid about being a child actor? Like if somebody's like, "Oh, I'm thinking about it. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know." What are you gonna tell him? Like, what is something that you tell him?
I mean, just stick your neck out.
What does that mean?
Like,
What?
just,
What?
I mean, like,
Like.
doing too much.
That's my neck. What?
No, like it's an idiom, as in,
Okay.
yeah, as in like just do it. I mean, start acting.
Just
do it.
start.
I mean, I don't know what my mom did to like get me into acting, because you have to like do, it's a whole bunch of stuff that you have to do with the government. You have to have a resume, and all that. Just do it.
Right.
Just do it, like Nike. Just do it.
All right. Well, I appreciate you joining. I'm gonna finish this off, and you can go get ready for bed. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Go on, boy. You talking about I'm doing too much? Hell, you doing too much.
All right, bye, y'all.
Okay, so that's my sweetie pie. Can you close the door behind you, please?
Yes, ma'am.
So that was Trey. If y'all missed him, you'll have to watch the replay here in a second. But there are some things I do want to touch on. If you are a parent and you do want your child to be a child actor, you have to be active. And the younger they are, the more involved you have to be. I started with Trey in child acting at the age of 8. He could read, of course he could write, but one of the things that I found that I had to be more involved in with him was, of course, memorizing the lines. I had to make sure I stayed on top of him with that. And then also understanding what he's reading. A lot of times these scripts are not written for kids. They're written for kid roles, but a lot of times like the emotion that they may ask about, or the experience that they're asking for, or facial expressions, all of that kind of stuff, you know, kids are not really aware of. What?
No, I just came here because the KK has some.
Oh, okay. So it's really important to make sure that you explain to your child what they're reading about, how they need to be, their demeanor, how they need to dress. You kind of have to explain that to them and break it down, because all of that is what they're looking for. They're expecting this child to know everything when it comes to when they're auditioning for a role. So it's very important for the parents to be very involved in the scripting and making sure that they're reading the script too. I mean, he's had scripts where they've been 10, 20, 50 pages, and I'm sitting here having to read them just like him, but that's just the name of the game, you know? And the only way your child can grow is if you're there helping them. You have to be on top of them. So the younger they are, the more hands-on you have to be. Now, when it comes to safety, I'm hands-on no matter what. I'm going to be at every set. I'm going to be at every audition. I'm not dropping off. I'm not picking up. I am there 24/7. So, you know, the first experience I had with that was he was doing like a short film at UT, University of Texas. There's a lot of students there that are graduating every year. So they always have to do these projects and short films to graduate from film school. So there's a lot of work in that. And a lot of them don't pay, but it's the experience that pays itself, okay? Trust me on that. When you see some of that free work, take it, because your kid needs to learn how to be on set. They need set etiquette, all of that good stuff. But anyways, back to my story. So they wanted to take him outside of where we were filming at, just outside the room now, and they wanted to mic him. And that was my first time and his first time ever being actually mic'd. Normally they kind of have something kind of hanging somewhere or a mic somewhere close by, you know, so that they can get the volume. But he had been, you know, doing some bigger stuff, so he had to have a mic on. And they were like, yeah, we're going to take him out here. Just, you know, you're going to be fine. You can stay. And I'm like, no. So what I did was I went right to the door that had a window in it, and I watched him mic my son, because I don't trust nobody, okay? You can be Michael Janet Jackson, okay? I still feel like I have to keep my eyes on my kid, because you never know who people are. You know, everybody's on set and everybody's in filming mode, but you don't know who these people are. They're around your kids. And you know, some people can come off very genuine, and a lot of times some of the most genuine people be the ones with the illest intentions on your kids. So for me, I had to be Mama Bear, and I said, no offense to you, but I'm going to watch you mic him. And he was like, oh, you know, that's fine. You know, I guess some parents are like, yeah, go do your thing, but like, not me. I'm not even going to give you an inch on me. I'm not even going to give you an ounce. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm going to be there every step of the way. So another thing about being on set is make sure you feed your kids prior to and have snacks and your own drinks, because if you do a lot of the lower end films and short films where the budget's not high and they're not really gonna have food and snacks available like that, you need to have your own stuff, because your kid, a lot of times they'll say, oh, they're gonna film for 2 hours and you're there for 5. So you're like 3 hours worth of time. What is your kid eating and drinking? Are they able to go to the restroom? Are they going to be able to get a break? So you have to consider all of that, you guys. You have to remember, these are kids. These are young, non-attentive, every 5-second kids. So you have to have things like that for them: a tablet, a phone, some type of a device. And of course, always have an extra script on hand for them to be able to work with. Another thing is, I live in Texas, so for me, when we were doing a lot of traveling and not getting paid, I just set my limits, and my limit was I'll drive anywhere in Texas, period. Now, if you're gonna pay me to drive to Louisiana or somewhere nearby, I'll make that drive, but you're gonna have to definitely pay me for that, because gas, money, time, all of that, it counts. And then of course, like a hotel room, that as well. So, you have to make sure that it makes sense for you, and that whatever works for you, make it work. If you're not willing to travel an hour outside of where you live, then just keep it at that. But you have to look into these opportunities, because sometimes it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's been worth it every time. And I've driven to Dallas. I've driven everywhere you can think of. And a lot of those jobs didn't pay. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't about the pay. It was about the experience. Like Trey got to be a part of a short film some years back where it was like a scary kind of movie theme. And he was like in this big old house. And we got to meet the owners of the house. They were super nice. And it was just a different kind of vibe. He had pajamas on when he filmed. And it was a lot of like night type of scenes, scary scenes. And so I was right there, like right behind the cameraman. I'm right there looking as well. But those experiences are experiences that every child actor doesn't get. You see a lot of the kids that are going towards commercials and doing that, super friendly, fun stuff where they're happy and all this all the time. But like if your child gets older and they want to do something else, they need that experience. So Trey has experience shooting at night. We filmed overnight about, I think 2 or 3 different times, and they're long hours, let me tell you, because as soon as you're done filming at night, you have to sleep all day. So you have to make sure you have your hotel arrangements in place to make sure that they know, like, hey, and this is what I tell them. I'm like, look, we're checking in. My son has to film tonight from 9 p.m. to 2 p.m. Can we have our time extended to stay? And they're like, yeah, of course. And they're always interested in, because the child acts like, oh, what is he in? What is he doing? And I'm like, yeah, just give me my time, okay? Just give me the time. So it's a lot that parents have to consider. And you do have to come out of your pocket, especially for the films that don't pay. A lot of times they won't tell you off top, but you're gonna have to provide the wardrobe too. So if there's wardrobe that's needed, like if they want the kid to wear like a solid blue shirt and black pants, you gotta go to Walmart and buy that stuff. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes they reimburse you, and then sometimes they don't. So what I tell parents to do is, when you go to Walmart or whatever store you go to, get them solid colored tops, because they're not only will they need them for filming, but they'll also need these solid tops for when they're auditioning. A lot of the auditions, they want you to wear a solid shirt, no logos, no nothing. They want it to be nice and pressed. They want you to wear regular, plain, boring ass jeans. So we have those on the side for him to always throw on when it comes to auditioning and filming. And as a parent, it impresses them when you ask off top, like, hey, what about wardrobe? What do they need? What are they going to be wearing? And sometimes we can get away with using his own wardrobe that we don't have to go and buy. And then there's other times where I'm at the store trying to find a random colored top or a long sleeve this or a short sleeve that. So, just be prepared for those type of small expenses. Of course, there's gas and food. And then if you're traveling for so long, I know there was one short film recently where the hours were just kind of off. He didn't even get the role anyway, but it was just the accommodations that they were providing were not providing. Let's just put it like that. It wasn't worth it, So to me, it didn't matter whether or not he got that particular role, just because, to me, it was like we were going to be losing more than winning in that particular situation. Just saying. But Yeah, Trey's been acting since he was 8. He is now 12. He's actually, another good thing you need to do, okay? Register your child as an actor in your state. In Texas, you can do it. I think I paid about 50, 60 bucks, if that. I used to live in Austin, so I literally went to the Capitol and went in there, and it took me about 10 minutes. I had to fill out this form. They printed it out for me, sent me a copy in the mail, and he was a registered actor. A lot of the bigger jobs want your child to be registered because that protects them as a business and it protects the child. So, like for example, he did Nickelodeon. A lot of the kids with the agency that my son is with did not have their like rights to work in the state, whereas we had it. So it was easy for us to get everything done. They really like the process to go fast whenever it comes to stuff like that. So having your child registered as a child actor in the state that you live in is like a bonus. They're like, oh, good. Okay, we already have the paperwork. We're going to pick this kid. Sometimes they'll pick you because you already have those things aligned. So having that registration that has gotten Trey so many jobs alone. Like they don't have to wait. They feel like I'm more on top of it. They feel like, okay, she's knowledgeable in this business. Like she's already got him registered as an actor. Like, they kind of it kind of bumps you up a couple steps from everybody else too. I will say that Trey has probably been with his agency for maybe a year, but before that, I did everything on my own. And I was really against going with an agency because they get their cut, right? They get their cut too. And I didn't care for that because I'm like, I just feel like I'm doing everything. I'm the one that's got to transport them to set. I have to sit on set with them. I'm doing all of that, and then you want to take a cut off of that? So I was doing it on my own, and Trey was just profiting all of that before. But I will say the good thing about him being with an agency now is that he has more exposure than what I can provide. I find a lot of his work on backstage.com, kidscasting.com, casting networks. Those are the 3 main ones that I find to work for him on. But what I did learn about a year ago, once he joined that agency, is that I didn't know that a lot of the agencies are using the same outlets that independent kids are using. So when it was just me managing my son by myself and I was finding him work on Backstage, I had no idea that we were competing against kids who had representatives, who had agents, who had agencies. So I felt like, okay, I'm doing the right thing. I'm in the right place. I'm in the right space. I just can't get him to that next level. He recently did a commercial for Nickelodeon. They had a campaign. They have it going on right now. So if you watch Nickelodeon, you'll see him on the commercial they have running. And I would have never had that opportunity come across my phone had I not been with my agency. And they were looking for kids like at the very last minute. Like we found out about Nickelodeon 2 days before. We didn't find out the location of the set until the morning of, because they were just that secretive. Nickelodeon is not playing. They don't want us to say nothing. They don't want us to tell nobody. So I get it. I understand it. And then they also required that Trey have a Coogan account. Make sure your kid has a Coogan account. A Coogan account is basically an account for child actors. I don't know if it's for any other kind of child that works, but for sure child actors have this account. And it's a savings account where the companies can directly pay the child to that account. Nobody touches the money. I don't touch it. He doesn't touch it. And he won't be able to touch it until he's like 21. The particular account that I got through Wells Fargo, he won't touch it till he's 24. So to me, I think it's kind of cool. And then it gains interest. It's just going to make money just sitting in there anyway. So I do like that he does have a Coogan account. And that is something that a lot of the big higher end companies and businesses want you to have, because they really don't care about, I think it's a tax thing too. I know it has something to do with taxes too, but just look into Coogan account, Coogan, Coogan account, Coogan. But anyways, another thing, what else can I talk about? If y'all have any comments, please leave a comment. If you have something you want to ask, I am more than happy to answer questions about child acting. I'm happy with where he is right now. Another thing that I find is that a lot of the roles that are coming across now are a lot of different kind of roles, like gender unknown type roles, or how do they word it? It's like gender questioning roles. Is what gender questioning roles. Now that is something that I am not comfortable with. Just to be completely honest, I'm not biased. I love everybody. God, I love me. I love everybody. But I think that Trey is too young to try to process something like that, because for one, that's not something that's on his mind. That's not something that he's really aware of. It's not really, it's just not, he's 12 years old. So for me, I don't want to throw that onto him like that. If that's something that he wants to do when he's a grown adult and he can make his own decisions, then he can. And he very well so can. And then sometimes roles, not just like gender questioning roles, but even other roles that he may get, like with a sitcom or with a movie, these roles stick with them. Y'all think about Steve Urkel. He still gets called Steve Urkel in the streets, and he absolutely hates it. He has made so much money on that show, and he is a grown man, and people still call him Steve Urkel. And he's done so much more stuff since then. He's been in movies. I know he's doing producing and all that stuff too. So it's like sometimes, you have to kind of watch the roles that your kids or that you pick for your kids. I know, for me, when it comes to roles, if I see something that looks good enough, like if the numbers are all adding up, everything is making sense, I'll say, hey, are you interested? Do you want to do this? Or sometimes if I just decide on my own he's going to do it, I'm like, hey, we have this role coming up. You need to have an audition in by Thursday. We're going to go ahead and work on it tonight and submit it early. So it is important to understand the roles and make sure that your kids understand the role too. I think that is like the most important thing, because Trey's like very first audition, he was, like I said, you guys, he was a little bitty 8-year-old kid, and he was doing a great job because we had been working on it. It was his first role, so we were really excited. He didn't get it, but it's fine. But they were describing to him what to do, and he wasn't understanding it. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't grasping onto what they were saying. And I wanted to yell so loud, like, just do this, but I can't do that. He's in the middle of an audition, and they will kick you out if you do that. But that's another thing, is making sure they understand their role. And if they don't, it is your job to break that down to them. Break down the scenery, break down what they should be wearing, break down their emotion, break down their facial features, what they're doing with their hands. It's a lot that goes into acting. It's not just standing there with a cute smile and on a Colgate commercial. Like, it's so much more to it, especially if you want your kid to take this seriously, or if you see that they have a big interest in being child actors. Like, it's really important to be pivotal to them in this. And one of the first things that I ever taught Trey when he expressed to me that he wanted to act, one of the first things I taught him was, like he said, about respect, and just being a professional. I said, I know you're very young. You're only 8 years old, a little bitty man. I said, but this is a job. I said, so as much as you be happy for them to pay you, you still have to do your job. I said, so you have to be professional. You have to come in professional, smile, say hi to people, be polite, shake hands. Yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am. Look the part when you audition, like the role that you're auditioning for, look that part. Give them that visual already as you walk in the door, and be professional. Always say thank you for the opportunity. Look people in the eyes, firm handshake. Those little things are what people remember. And then, of course, always have like a comp card of some sort. A comp card is a card that basically has a couple of photos of them. Usually a profile photo for sure. So mostly the face, and face forward. Let me just tell you that right now. They want a picture face forward. And then a full body one would be good as well, so they can see the kid's shape. But on this comp card, you're going to have mostly what they're looking for. Their stats. What do they weigh? How tall are they? What size are they wearing tops, bottoms, and shoes? What color is their hair, their eyes? Any other outstanding features they may have. Trey wears glasses, so I always put that on there. When he auditions, we do have him in glasses, and if he takes them off, he'll let them know, like, I can have them off or on. So it gives them a little bit of a variety with Trey. And Trey stands out with his glasses. So if your kids wear glasses and they're wanting to act and they're a little ashamed of that, no. Tell them this is going to get you in. You're going to pop off with these glasses on, because there are not a lot of kids that wear glasses. It's not a really, how can I put this? You just stand out. You're a kid with glasses. You just stand out. They're going to remember you. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you get some good photos in for your kids. Don't go and spend $1,000 on photos. I've done that before and it was worth it, but it wasn't worth it. Like we didn't have to have those amazing $1,000 photos. But at the same time, I'm like, huh, he did get jobs off of these photos on this comp card. So make sure you do have a comp card. And yeah, so those are my tips for being a momager to a child actor. I am still managing him on my own. I get him stuff on the side as well as his agency. So the grind will never stop for me. I will always be looking online and getting him work while the agency is doing their job as well. If they can find work, I can find work too. And those resources are backstage.com, castingnetworks.com, and then Kids Casting. Kids Casting has been a little wishy-washy lately, but they do have stuff on there from time to time. Here lately, it's like a lot of pageant stuff and a lot of like kind of competition, weird, I don't know, like just stuff I don't care about. But Backstage has been my best friend for sure because they allow you to create a profile. Casting Networks too. Make sure you create your profiles on there, upload some pictures, get them a video reel going. If they've done any kind of work, especially short films, ask for that content. Say, hey, send it to me if it's raw and unedited. I don't care. Whatever you have of him on film with that great camera that y'all use, I need that footage because you want to create a reel less than a minute long. This is going to show them who your child is on film. As much as they can see on paper in that amazing prepped photo, they want to see your child actually working and in action. And that reel is going to seal the deal, okay? If you have a reel, they're going to be like, oh, you have a reel? Let me see it. A lot of times kids don't have reels. So I created mine all by myself. If you're familiar with CapCut or something like that, create it on CapCut, okay? Just do it on there. It's fine. I think you can do iMovie too. I did Trey's on iMovie. But as soon as you start getting these clips in, put them all together. And what you want to do with your reel is make sure that you're only giving them footage of your child. Do not give other people's screen time on that reel because now their attention is off of your kid and now their attention is on somebody else. So anytime your child is in a scene, you know, if they're with somebody, obviously you can't cut them out of that because you want to see them how they act with other actors, right? But if there's a scene that they're in and then the camera moves to another person, that's the end of that clip. So these clips that you'll be using will probably be no longer than like 10 seconds. So I'm just, just giving you some insight into creating the reels and what they want. They want to see your kid. They don't want to see any and everything else going on around. They want to see your kid on film. Give them exactly that. If the reel is 30 seconds, great. If the reel is 20 seconds, great. You have a reel. As long as it's not over a minute. But as your kid gets more experience, then obviously you'll have more content to add to that reel. And that's what I've been doing is just adding over time. As soon as I get something that comes in, I'll take it, cut it up. Even if it's like 0.8 seconds long, it's still footage and it's on a good camera. So put that on the reel, okay? Make sure you do that. But anyways, I'm going to go for real this time. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you all have gained a lot of insight into child acting. Moms and dads, if there's something you're wanting to do, hit me up. I have all the answers for you and I am very experienced. I've been doing this for years and I still do it to this day. But anyways, I hope you guys have a very great day. Night now. Peace.